Hey everyone, so today's video is a really fun and exciting one and sort of different from me. It is called Makeup by the Numbers, and I originally saw Sarah Rose do this video, but the original creator is Beauty and the Bar. So like I said, I saw Sarah's video and then I went over to check out Beauty and the Bar's channel, and she is a really amazing creator here on YouTube. So I would highly recommend to go check out her channel. I literally binge watched all of her videos when I discovered her from Sarah Rose and from this specific video. So I wanted to sort of recreate my own version of this video. And basically I'm going to be going through and just talking about how many products I own from each brand in my collection. So thank you so much to Beauty and the Bar for coming up with this idea. I think this is super unique and just a really interesting way to see sort of the products you have in your collection from each brand and if they correlate with your favorite brands. And I think it's really interesting to see how everyone sort of purchases makeup differently from different brands and all of the brands that they have in their collections. So first of all, I do have 62 brands total in my collection. So out of all the products I have, there are 62 brands. And I feel like this number is a lot higher than I was expecting it to be. I feel like when I purchase makeup, I tend to purchase from the same brands. Obviously, I do like trying new brands, and I've definitely been branching out the past 2 years to new brands. And clearly, I have 62 brands in my collection, so I do have a good range of different brands. And just for reference, before I go through all of the specific brands, I want to say what I think my top brands would be. So I think Milani is definitely one of my top favorite, or probably my favorite drugstore brand. I would also say e.l.f. Cosmetics along with NYX Cosmetics, just because I think they have some really great inexpensive products. And then not necessarily my favorite brand, but a brand that I feel like I have quite a few products from and I do really like is Catrice Cosmetics, which again is another really inexpensive brand. And then one of my more high-end, most favorite brands is Oma Beauty. So I already know how many products I have from them, but it's not an extensive range and I do want to purchase more products from them. So a lot of these brands I would like to try some more products from, but obviously I am on a no buy this year. So this whole year I haven't been buying any new products. So I haven't really been trying any new brands recently. So I'm gonna start with all of the brands that I only have one product from in my whole collection. And there are 27 brands that I have one product from. So 27 out of the 62 brands, I only have one product, and I was very surprised by that. But I feel like I do tend to purchase makeup like that, where I will try one product sort of from each brand. So I thought that was really interesting to see, but I already kind of knew my purchasing habits were sort of corresponding to that. So I am going to list all 27 of the brands, so bear with me here. Obviously, there is a lot. So we have Touch in Sol, Pretty Vulgar, Jacqueline Cosmetics, Bare Minerals, Billion Dollar Brows, It Cosmetics, Too Faced, Benefit, Space Case, Laura Mercier, Aesthetica, Tarte, RMS Beauty, Colored Rain, Urban Decay, Alamar Cosmetics, Marc Jacobs, Morphe, Sigma, Pat McGrath, Sephora, which is like the Sephora collection brand, Makeup Revolution, Clinique, Iconic London, Bobbi Brown, Lila B, and Persona Cosmetics. So that is all 27 brands that I have one product from. And I thought this was very interesting. And what I noticed is that pretty much every single one of those brands that I just listed are all high-end brands, which kind of makes sense because obviously they're going to be more expensive. So I find from more expensive brands, I tend to only purchase one product from. What I also found is that quite a few of these products are products that I have gotten in BoxyCharms. So I did BoxyCharm a couple years ago for, I think I did it for 2 years. So it was like from 2017 to 2019, I think. So obviously in BoxyCharm, you're getting some new brands you've never heard of and these more unique products that maybe aren't so mainstream. So I feel like some of those brands obviously did come from getting products in BoxyCharm, which I thought was really interesting. The next little group that I'm going to be talking about is brands that I have two products from. So there were 13 brands that I have 2 products from in my collection, which obviously going from 27 with 1 product to 13 with 2 products, I think you kind of see the trend here, and you'll see as we get further and further up the list, it sort of continues that way. So the 13 brands that I only have 2 products from in my collection is L'Oreal, Juvia's Place, KVD, Laura Geller, Nude Sticks, Ilia, Rare Beauty, Kosas, Violet Voss, Kaja, Ace Beauté, Appeal, and Bite Beauty. So again, there are a couple brands in there I recognize from getting products just in BoxyCharm. So those brands that I have tried from BoxyCharm, I don't think I've really purchased anything else from. And also a lot of those ones I just listed as well are more high-end brands, so I only have a couple of products from them. There are brands obviously like L'Oreal that are more drugstore, but L'Oreal is not cruelty free, which is why I only have 2 products from. So I'm trying to sort of phase those products out of my collection, and you'll see that sort of trend as well with non-cruelty free brands. I don't have as many products from those brands, obviously, because I'm trying to phase those out of my collection, because I did go cruelty free about a year ago now. Now we have brands that I have 3 products from in my collection. So there are 7 brands that I have 3 products from. So here is that list. We have Ciate London, Hourglass, Essence, Cover Effects, Ciate London I listed twice for some reason, Makeup Geek, and Dose of Colors. So again, even most of those brands are more high-end brands. So I only have 3 products from all of those brands, and we have brands like Essence, which I feel like I have either finished off a lot of Essence products that I purchased or decluttered them, and I have been doing a lot of decluttering in the past year or so. So my makeup inventory has definitely gone down a lot, and I feel like the way my makeup collection has sort of evolved, I do have a lot more high-end makeup brands in my collection, but I find, like I said, because there are 62 brands in my collection, I purchase like 1 product from a specific brand. I don't purchase a ton of products from one brand, so I tend to branch out sort of in that way, where I like to try almost like one of each, like 1 product from each brand, which is like really interesting. The next little group of brands I have 4 products of, and there are 7 brands I have with 4 products. So I thought it was interesting. There's 7 brands with 3 products, and there's 7 brands I have 4 products of. So the 4 products are from Physicians Formula, BH Cosmetics, Oma Beauty, Becca Cosmetics, Ofra, Flower Beauty, and Natasha Denona. So if you remember my top 5 brands that I listed at the beginning, Oma Beauty is one of them. So Oma Beauty is in this category. I have 4 products from them, which I already knew. They more recently became one of my favorite brands, so that is not really surprising to me. And also, if you noticed, within those 7 brands that I have 4 products from, we are getting down to some more drugstore brands. So a lot of these are more inexpensive, like BH Cosmetics, Flower Beauty, and Physicians Formula, which Physicians Formula is not cruelty free. So those are more products I'm trying to go through in my collection as well. So as we get closer to the top, we sort of get more drugstore brands and more inexpensive brands, which makes a lot of sense, because obviously you, or at least for me, I tend to purchase more products from more inexpensive brands. Like I said, I tend to purchase 1 product from a more expensive brand and then almost move on to the next brand, which I kind of feel like is really interesting. There were only 2 brands that I have 5 products from, so those are going to be Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and Stila, which Stila I was sort of surprised by because I haven't purchased from them in a really, really long time, and I can't really even think of 1 product that I have from them. I have a lip product. That's really the only one I can think of off of the top of my head. And then ABH I'm not surprised by, because I do have 4 of their eyeshadow palettes, which I have 4 of their eyeshadow palettes, but I don't know what the other product is. Do I have 5 of their eyeshadow palettes? No. So hopefully this list is accurate, because I used my fancy Excel skills, which are not very good. So I'm not sure how accurate this is. It seems pretty accurate to me, but I just can't think of products off of the top of my head. And then I also thought it was interesting. I have 3 brands that I have 7 products from each. So those 3 brands are Catrice Cosmetics, Elf Cosmetics, and Fenty Beauty. So you have some more drugstore brands, and Fenty Beauty, that's only because I have their gloss bomb set with 5 glosses in it. So that's the only reason why Fenty Beauty is so high. But I'm definitely not surprised by these numbers, obviously, because Catrice and Elf are more drugstore brands, so I'm gonna have more products from them. And again, Catrice and Elf were 2 of my top brands, so we are getting to the top of the list. There's only 3 more brands left. So now for the top 3, my number 3 brand, I have 10 products from, and that is NYX Cosmetics, which again, I said was one of my top brands, so I'm not surprised by that. And then my number 2 brand, which I have 14 products from, is Milani Cosmetics. Again, I'm not surprised. Milani is probably my favorite drugstore brand. So that is my number 2 brand. Now, my number 1 brand was not surprising, but also surprising at the same time. And I have 45 products from my number 1 brand. And according to this, my number 1 brand is ColourPop Cosmetics. And you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I no longer purchase from ColourPop. But in the past, ColourPop was one of the first brands to come out with really inexpensive, more unique makeup products. And they had this sort of array of colors that no other brand had. So in the past, I have gone wild on the ColourPop website, clearly because as of now, I still have 45 products from them. But over the years, I have decluttered a ton of ColourPop products, and I was very surprised by this number. I actually went through and individually counted every single ColourPop product I had, and this number is accurate, which I'm almost like disappointed by. I'm definitely trying to go through some of my ColourPop products right now, but my priority is the non-cruelty free products in my collection. So I have been focusing more on getting those out of my collection rather than just getting rid of ColourPop products, because I do actually like a lot of the ColourPop products that I own. And I'm actually not too surprised by that, because I do own a lot of ColourPop lip products, which take forever to go through. It's probably the hardest category for me to pan. So I know I'm gonna have ColourPop products in my collection for a really long time. I do also have some eyeshadow palettes from them that I really like that I'm not going to be getting rid of. So I'm not surprised ColourPop is my top brand. I would prefer them not to be my top brand, but I know I do have a ton of products from them, just that I've accumulated over the years. And the fact that most of those products are lip products doesn't help, because lip products take so long to go through. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting to see every single brand in my collection, and specifically how many products I own from each brand. I feel like I'm not really surprised by how this list turned out. And I feel like my collection is pretty accurate to what my favorite brands are, being at the top of the list in terms of how many products I own from them. So 4 out of 5 of my top brands were in the top 5 brands, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not confusing you. And that being said, also 4 out of the 5 brands that are my favorites are more drugstore brands. So I'm not surprised that they are in my top 5. And then obviously the one brand that is not in my top 5 is a brand that is more expensive. So I definitely wasn't surprised about that. But I feel like the main thing that shocked me is just how many products I have from ColourPop, because I really didn't realize how many individual products I actually had from them. And it was really interesting to see how many specific products I have from each brand. But like I said, I think it definitely correlates with sort of my favorite brands, despite my number 1 brand, which is sort of an exception just because I used to like binge purchase from ColourPop. So I'm not really surprised by that number. I just wish it was lower. But this will be interesting to sort of look back on this video and see where my collection is at, maybe in like 1 or 2 years. So I think this is a video I will continue to do probably once a year. It's almost similar to like a makeup inventory video, where you're just looking at the specific brands and how many products you own from each brand. So this was really, really fun to do. I hope it was interesting for you guys to hear about. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I do post new videos about 2 to 3 times a week. So if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.